Hello students, good morning. Hope you all are well and also have completed two chapters after the periodic test 1 in your copy, the early cities and the Vedic period. These two chapters we have completed. I have given you question answers and exercises. Question answers to be done in the copy and exercises to be completed in the book. Hope so you have completed, and if you have not completed, you still can complete in your copies. It will be easy for you to learn if you have written in the copies. Okay. So today we will continue with our history portion. The next chapter is the early states. Okay, this is the chapter that we will do today. Okay, so we will take the book in your hand. Okay, and open page number 44. Book in your hand, take the page 44, the early states, and take the pencil also. When I teach some words and lines which I will tell, you will underline it. It will be easy for you to understand. In the previous chapters we have learned that how man was a gatherer. Then he learned about agriculture. He started settled life. Then came villages. Then villages were known as gram. In the previous chapter we learned group of villages were known as Vish, and group of Vishes were known as your Janpadas. And in this chapter you will know when the Janpadas expanded their territories, then it was known as Mahajanpadas. So we continue, we go to page 44. So the first heading that you have in your book is the political system. So in political system, now we are going to learn in this what type of political system was there in the early states. The period after 600 BCE saw a rapid change in society. So during the period of 600 BCE, lot of changes were coming in the society, where the people were living once in the forest, in villages. Now the society is turning into towns. Okay, in previous chapter you have already learned about the political system. What was the political system? As I have already told you, the grams were there, that is village groups, chain of villages known as Vish, and group of Vishas were known as Janpadas, and the person who was the leader of particular Janpada was known as Janpati. Okay, over a period of time, these Janpadas grew in stature as a strong political entity by acquiring more territory. So as the time passed, the Janpadas acquired more of the territories. So each Janpada conquered more territory, more place they conquered, their area expanded, and that Janpadas were known as Mahajanpadas. Okay, so more territory they acquired and came to be known as Mahajanpadas. So by 200 BCE, there were total 16 Mahajanpadas. So a Mahajanpada comprises lot of Janpadas. Okay, so this is about your political system in the early states. Once again, you should clear the political system of the early states was the Janpadas turned into Mahajanpadas. How the Janpadas were made? In the Vedic period, the group of Vish were known as Janpadas, and when Janpadas expanded their territories, they became Mahajanpadas, and there were total 16 Mahajanpadas by the 200 BCE. Clear? Now, next we have here the Janpadas and Mahajanpadas. Okay, so the Mahajanpadas were governed into two different ways. So these Janpadas or Mahajanpadas had two ways of governing. One was your monarchs, another one was your republican. Monarch and republican. Okay, so in this you will underline monarch and republican. Okay, so they had two type of government. One was monarchical government, another republican government. Okay, in the monarchical government, Mahajanpada, the king was the most powerful and used to have a hereditary system. So in monarchical system, the king will be the head of the what you say Mahajanpada, and the kingdom will be given after his death to his son. It is known as hierarchical, okay, hereditary. So he will be given to the kingdom will be given to the son, whoever will be born from him. Okay, the king was most powerful in monarchical government and used to have hereditary. Okay, hereditary system means from father to the son the kingdom will be passed on, where after the death of father the son takes over the throne and is made as the king. Okay, so Kolaska, Vasta, Magadha, Avanti, these were the most powerful monarchical janpadas. Okay, so we first clear about monarchical government, the janpadas and mahajanpadas. Monarchical government, okay, monarchical government. So here we have to make it clear, janpadas. Okay, monarchical government is what? In monarchical government, king is the head of the government of the Mahajanpada, and after his death, his son will be the ruler. Okay, all the decisions are taken by the king. All the power is in the hand of the king. So in monarchical government, power is in one hand, the king, and the power is transferred hereditary, that means from father to son. Next you have from, so you will underline in this paragraph the line number 4th. The king was the most powerful and used to have hereditary system, and it is called as monarchical government. Okay. Next you have on page 45 the Republican Mahajanpadas were ruled by a group of people. So what is Republican, what we say is your Janpada or Mahajanpada or government. Here people elected, a group of people is elected. Okay, like you have democracy, in the same way here a group of people will be elected. Not one person is the ruler, not one person is having the power. A group of people is responsible. So who were the people who ruled in Republican government? They were the Lichavis, the Sakyas. These were the prominent, powerful Republican Mahajanpadas. Okay. In the Republican form of government, the elected group of people formulated the policies by majority decision system. So those who are elected, that group of people will take decision, but on the basis of majority of vote or majority of the permission is given in that. Okay, so that is your with Republican government. Clear? So we have Janpadas or Mahajanpadas. Mahajanpadas are governed in two ways: monarch, which I made you clear, by the king. Republican, a group of people who is elected is responsible to rule. Okay, a group of people is elected and they make all the policies and decisions are taken, and it depends on the majority of decision. Okay, this happens in the Republican government. So during the 200 BCE, two types of government, that you have monarchical and another one is your Republican. Clear? Now we have fortification. Fortification is, in the olden days people used to make walls around their territories so that nobody can attack onto their land area, or so that also to show their power. That is fortification. Clear? I hope this point is clear to you about the Janpadas. Janpadas are the group of wish, and when Janpadas conquered more of territories, they become Mahajanpadas. There were 16 Mahajanpadas, okay, by 200 BCE. They were governed in two ways, monarchs and republican. Monarch means power in one hand, that is by the king, and after him his son, hereditary. Then republican, a group of elected people who is responsible for the society or for the government. Okay, all the decisions are taken on majority of votes. Okay, now fortification is all the Mahajanpadas used to have fortification, walls around their Mahajanpada or territories. Okay, so with this also we have to remember which are the places which had monarchical government. Do you remember in the book you have? Look at the book on page number 40. Which are the places having monarchical government? On page 44, second paragraph. From down second line, take pencil and see. Koshala, Vasta, Magadha, Avanti is having monarchical government. Okay. And who were having republican government were your Lichavis on page number 45, third line, Sakyas and Lichavis. Clear? And fortification I made you clear again. The forts were built around the capital city. The Mahajanpadas also had capitals. Capital, a place is chosen in the territory from where the government will work. Okay, a center from where the political power work. So they were mostly well fortified from all four sides. Okay, the forts were built around the capital city for two reasons. So the Mahajanpadas had capitals, and around the capitals they used to make forts or walls to show two things, as I told you, to show the power and prosperity of the Maharaja or Mahajanpada. They had to show how powerful they are, and also to show the prosperity. They were making the walls around it. Second one you have, also to provide safe and secure environment. So they were making walls around the Mahajanpada's capital to make the people safe and protected. Okay, so that people could live there without any fear. Next, there was a constant need to expand the area under control. So they always wanted to conquer Mahajanpadas more of the areas. Whatever territory they had, they wanted to expand it, have conquer more of the land areas. Why? There were two reasons. Twofold reason. Firstly, to capture more territory to cater the food for the growing population. One, that they needed more food crops so that they can fulfill the needs of the growing population. Okay, so for that they needed more land to cultivate more, so they wanted to conquer more land areas. One reason is this. Another one reason is also to show their power and authority among the contemporary kings, all those who are ruling at that time in different Mahajanpadas. They wanted to show them that we are more powerful than you. Okay, so these were the two reasons why they wanted to expand their territories, expand their Mahajanpada areas. First reason, so that they can supply proper food and cater the needs of the growing population. Next reason was to show off their power, to show off that they are more powerful at that time, whoever was ruling the contemporary kings. They wanted to show that we are more powerful. I am the more powerful. That's why also they wanted to conquer more of the territories. So fortification is for showing the power of the ruler, the power of the Mahajanpadas, and also to safeguard the people from outside attack. They also wanted to conquer more territories to feed the people, to cater the needs of the people, and also to show off that they are more powerful. So we also have learnt about fortification. Now the expansion of territories, how they used to expand their territories. How? So many kings used to start a practice ritual known as Ashwamedha. Yagya, Yagna or Yagna. So it is called in Hindi Ashwamedh Yagya, a horse sacrifice. It is was the way at that time. Okay, this was a grand ritual in which organized to capture more territories, and in this system the king performed the yajna, sent to horse with his emblem to roam freely into the neighboring territories. So what it says that during that time how they conquered territories, they used to have, the king used to have Ashwamedh Yagya. In this, the king will take a horse, he will perform yagya, and he will take a horse from his own territory and put an emblem. You know what is emblem? You have your school emblem also, na? A sign of your school, okay? So he will put the seal of his territory, his seal, and leave the horse free to roam around in any place wherever he goes out of his territory, okay, while he performs the yajna. So you understood? He takes a horse, puts his seal or emblem, and lets the horse free wherever he wants to grow out of his territory. Okay, now what happens here? The horse was followed by a small army or defendants of the horse. The area from where the horse managed to pass through without any resistance was considered as captured territory. Now horse is left. Behind the horse, army is also sent to save, to see, to fight also, and to guard the horse. Now wherever the horse will go, if nobody stops the horse, that territory will become of the person who has let the horse free. Followed? If the horse is left and he is going in another territories, running around, okay, and nobody is stopping it, that means all that area wherever the horse has reached, run around, that will become the area of the king who is performing the Ashwamedh Yagya, and the army is also sent behind the horse. Why it is sent? It is sent to defend, okay. Now any small kingdom or person who dared to stop the horse was expected to fight the king. Now if it is reaching to any of the other territory and they stop it, it means they are ready to fight with the king, okay. Now he has to fight with the king if he has stopped the king who is performing the yajna. That person has to fight now. Whoever won the battle occupied the other territory. It was thus a matter of prestige and involved the risk of losing one's own territory. Therefore, only powerful king undertook this type of ritual. So you understood, if the horse is left and running around, nobody is stopping, all that territory will become the territory of the king who is performing the Ashwamedh Yagya, who has let the horse go. If somebody stops the horse from coming into his territory, it means he has to have a battle or fight with the king who is performing the yajna. And whoever will lose the battle, the person in whose territory the horse has reached, if he loses, his territory will become the king's territory who is performing the yajna. And if this side king loses, his territory will go into his hand. So it was very what we say risky type of, and this ritual was also only performed by the very rich and prosperous king who could take this seriously, or if they will not have more much loss of it, okay. So this was a ritual at that time to expand the territory. Leaving the horse, go anywhere, the territory becomes of the king, and if not stopped by somebody, and if stopped by somebody, that person who has stopped his kingdom has to fight with this kingdom. Whoever loses his kingdom also. Okay, this was for today, children. We have learnt about new or early states, political system from which to Janpadas, Mahajanpadas 16. Type of government was monarchical and republican. Then fortification was building walls around the cities or the capitals to protect it and also to show the power. Expansion of territories was done by a ritual known as Ashwamedha Yagya. leaving a horse free to move around and capture the territories. Clear? So I have told you also to underline some words like monarchical, republican, hereditary, okay, lichvi, sakyas, okay. These are the things you can underline. Some lines which you have not understood, or like what is monarch, you can underline answer with that. What is republican, you can underline on page number 45 with that. All right. Then also you can expansion of territories by Ashwamedha Yagya. These are the things you can do. Also there is, let's check with some question answers here. This also you can do by yourself with a pencil. Okay, study well, find these answers, read the chapter again, and ask me if you have not understood anything on Saturday. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.